So, all right. So, what we had today with FedEx was very interesting. Uh, and I want to be able to show this. So, look at how on the 5 minute chart, and this could be on any chart, how the price action is oscillating around the 20. And it actually started to basically oscillate around the 50 as well. This orange line here is the 50. Yellow line here is the 20, and this orange line is the 50. So that means that it's just ranging, that it's not trending on either side. It's not going to stay on either side and start trending on that side, either whether it's up or down. And you can know that because it's oscillating back and forth between both. It's just and it's cutting through them. That's even more important. One way to show to realize that that's what's going on is it keeps cutting through them. So we call that's not respecting the moving average. It keeps cutting through it like that. See, but then there was a certain point there where all of a sudden it did start to respect the moving average right there. See that? So at that point, it's picked a side essentially, and it's no longer going to oscillate. And you can see that a few minutes later, or maybe 30 minutes later, yeah, it did go down, but you know what? That was a fake out. It was a deliberate fake out. In other words, the price action really was now on this side. It's the price started to hug the moving average, and so that means it's like chosen a side. And if you ignore that little dip down, the price really just started to stay on that side, and it started to trend up. And that's what happens. Instead of now the 20 MA and the 50 MA just going like this, now they're going to start to lift up, and they're going to start to create that nice smooth railroading. It's starting to happen. You can almost start predicting it, that by the end of that day, the railroading was going to start occurring. So, and you can see that because of this bounce here. Really, the first indication was here, but if you really wanted like full confirmation, you could have got it here on this other bounce when it bounced off of the 20 again, and it even bounced off of the 50, and then it started to consolidate sideways along the 20. This is a chance right here. This is an opportunity for you to get in, because you know now that it's going to stay on one side. And if you're wrong, which does happen sometimes, so it's about an 80% chance you're right, but it does happen that it whips the other way. And in this market, that 80% chance might be more like 60% because things are crazy right now. But overall, it's an 80% chance. But if you're wrong, then you get stopped out. Okay, that happens. But if you're right, then you're in a winning trade, and you really should go for it because it ought to be right. In other words, this looks like a winning setup. So, but really the place that you could have got in is on this reversal confirmation bar down here that has that blue arrow. When it dipped back down there and then showed that it wasn't going to hold. So somewhere in here, you could have got like the best price on your money. You could have got the most leverage on the play if you were watching FedEx and you noticed that it was no longer oscillating, that it bounced off the 20 and then rejected and came back up like that. It didn't cut through, and it started kind of going sideways like. So then the next dip's going to be either a fake out, or there'll be a reversal bar involved, or it's just plainly a great opportunity to give it a try, and you get in, and if you're wrong, you stop out right below that red bar right there. And if you're right, you've got a play that you can hang on for, well, we're on the 5 minute timeline here, and now it's finally on this side of the trend. It should hold for hours, and as you see here, it did hold for hours. Whether or not it continues through to the next day, I don't know, but I got in, and I have 8 contracts on it now, so 800 shares. So if it goes up a couple points, that'll be $800 times a couple points. It was well worth it, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you've been able to see that. You guys are funny in the chat. So what do you think? Have you ever seen that before? It's pretty cool, right? You know, once you've got those moving averages up, there's many things to learn about what they show you. And that one is just, to me, I find that to be just brilliant. That's like a level 3 or a level 4, uh, you know, tip to know on the moving average trading strategy.